Good morning. Welcome to you on this beautiful summer day. Happy yoga morning. I'm glad that you're here. My friend, I feel like I'm on Romper Room. I see Kathy. Good morning. Um, so today we're going to just have a lovely practice that's hopefully very intentional. But first, I have a commercial for a couple of things I want to show you. And the first one is this is a new magazine that's just started just become out for circulation. And it's called, oddly enough, Christian Yoga Magazine. And it's full of wonderful pictures and cool practices and Christian, how the philosophy of yoga corresponds with our Christian faith. And it's wonderful. It's produced by people I know, and you can get it online or you can get a print and online. And since I'm such a paper hound, I'm getting both of them. So just want to put that out for it. And if you just Google Christian Yoga Magazine, you too can have this delivered to your mailbox. So that's that one. And then recently I started reading this book, which I have never read. And so here's a disclaimer. I don't know how it's going to end, but so far it has been one of the most clarifying texts I've ever read on the philosophy of yoga, and is written by T.K.V. Desikachar, who is the son of of this person whose name I know. It's terrible. Oh golly. Krishnamacharya. And he was one of the and born in the late 1800s, one of the most signature folks and fellows in studying yoga, and had highly educated. And this is the book, and it's called The Heart of Yoga, Developing a Personal Practice. So many things in here have drawn me back truly to the heart of yoga and what it means to honor the focus of yoga, which is, in a very basic sense, union. And our scripture for today will point to that. I just want to show you this book, The Heart of Yoga. Yes, you might like that. So I'm enjoying it very much. So let's go ahead and settle on back. So hopefully today, as we begin our practice, you can go ahead and rest back, sit, lie down, whatever feels most comfortable for you to begin. We'll come back to an awareness today in our practice of being very intentional of the union of breath, body, movement, focusing the mind. And as we do all of these things, we find that our nervous system does great things for us. There's so much going on. All these tools that God has built into our bodies for healing, for relief from stress. It's mind-boggling and miraculous that we are made this way, that all the layers of our being work together to keep us sane, to keep us healthy, to keep us focused and strong. So I hope you'll join me today in becoming really aware and present to yourself. And hopefully some of the obstacles that we have to being really present and focused on what God has for us deep within will be removed. I think of it as like coughing up a hairball that's in your throat, that is stuck between your awareness of yourself and those things within that need to be seen, that heart of God that is waiting for you within yourself. So cough up the hairball, boys and girls, and we'll get focused on what is truly present within today. Oh man. So, okay, so as we're resting down or seated, take a moment to look, see where you are. As you look around, soften your gaze so that we're not taking things in a very blunt way. We just want to be soft and say, oh, here I am. I made it up the back steps. I made it up into my room over the garage. I made it into my yoga space, wherever that is. Here you are. And then if you're comfortable closing your eyes, I invite you to close your eyes here. If that isn't comfortable for you, just soften your gaze even more and begin to listen. And how do we respond to sounds around us? We can find them annoying, we can find them distracting, we can find them sweet, comforting, and whatever they are for you today, I invite you to settle into them and just allow them to be part of your experience, part of the sacred ordinary. And becoming aware of yourself resting in this sacred space. How does the air feel around you? What do you notice in your environment? Just the feel of it if your eyes are closed. Becoming aware of maybe gently stepping into or becoming aware of God's presence already there and there to receive you. What is that like today? Becoming aware of your body resting here. As you make that journey into an awareness of your body, just settling into a slow, full, deep breath, however that looks for you. And then letting it out. And perhaps experiencing a little bit of letting go and a deeper sense of presence. Doing a little body scan, turning your gaze inward. How do you feel today? Is there any place in your body that you've come to the mat with a little bit of trepidation about? I just invite you to rest your hand there if that's possible, or just send your thoughts to any place or every place that feels cranky today. Breathe into that. Maybe put your hand on it. And just as you would with a sweet little child or a friend who's hurting, put your hand on yourself as if Jesus himself is just resting his hand on your body, your heart, saying, all is well. Breathing, finding grace. And then slowly turn your awareness to the feel of your breath. Moving in, moving out. Sweet awareness of that life-giving breath, sipping in, swishing out. Doesn't have to be anything special, just or controlled. Let's put it that way. The breath is always special. So without controlling or changing, just notice the breath moving in, moving out. And if you'd like, beginning to deepen your inhale, lengthen. And as you exhale, soften. Just allow the breath to be what it needs to be. Except that you might want to lengthen your inhale and match it with an exhale. Easy and slow, just that rhythm of the breath coming in, moving out. And on your next inhale, notice the sensations of your body as you breathe your life-giving breath in. And as you let it out, notice how your body senses your exhale. Can there become a sense of equanimity here? If you're grasping for breath, that's okay. Just let it be what it needs to be, and notice where you might need to soften. Just let it be. Just notice. Work with it gently, softening the belly, allowing the heart to rest. Easy and sweet. And as you rest here, I'm going to share with you from the Gospel of Mark, chapter 12. And it's Jesus speaking to one of the teachers of the law about the greatest commandment. One of the teachers of the law came and heard them debating. Noticing that Jesus had given them a good answer, he asked him, "Of all the commandments, which is the most important?" "The most important one," answered Jesus, "is this. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind, and with all your strength. The second is this, love your neighbor as yourself. There is no commandment greater than these." So I invite you just for a moment to walk with me through this as we notice that Jesus acknowledges that we are beings made up of layers. Our innermost being is the heart. It's impalpable, it's not a physical place, but it is the innermost part of our being. It's where God waits for us. It's a place within where it is perpetually still, perpetually ready, perpetually receptive, where God lives and waits for us to turn our awareness toward our heart so that we can be present to all that God has for us within. The soul, our emotions, our personality. Sometimes those things determine the way we relate to our heart, that innermost being. Sometimes they cloud it, sometimes they draw us to that heart space. And with our personalities, we might approach the heart space in different ways. Our minds, meaning our thoughts, our intellect. Sometimes the minds run down rabbit trails, sometimes they're following, chasing after, and sometimes we just need help with focus, with becoming aware of our thoughts and where they're taking us. And our strength, which can mean our will, it can mean our physical bodies. What can we do with our bodies to guide us closer to God's presence? And when we unify all those things, heart, soul, mind, and strength, we may come to that place within where we find that love of our neighbor, where God teaches us about loving ourselves because God loves us, and loving our neighbors because God loves them. So you can see how there's that journey of heart, soul, mind, strength. How do we love God with all those things and in turn love our neighbors? How do we receive God's love for ourselves so that we can love our neighbor? So in our yoga practice today, which includes all those aspects of our being, I invite you to be very intentional. Notice where you are. Notice how your breath feels. That breath was just the bridge that moves between, that unifies the heart, the soul, the mind, the body. That's God's presence. God's life force within us, unifying and tying together everything. So, what a task for today, huh? But as the more we practice it, the more we become present to that. So I'm going to invite you now to just, with awareness, take a nice big stretch and notice how your body feels. Reaching out end to end, maybe squirming around a little bit, moving one limb, other limb. See, just notice where your awareness of stretching your body takes you this morning. Hopefully your strap is ready for you. We'll need that in a moment. And we'll just come come to lying down with your knees bent and soles of the feet on the mat, checking in with your body, noticing the back body just settling in. Allow your hands to rest beside you, your arms to rest, and take a moment to acknowledge where you are. Before we do anything else, just notice where you are. Notice your feet settling in. Notice your hips resting down. Your back settling into the mat. Shoulders are broad, upper back just settles right down, pours into the support of your mat underneath. Allow your throat to be soft and your face to be soft. And we'll begin by just taking a couple of slow, full, deep breaths here to notice how the breath travels in through the nose and down through your body. So just take a slow, full, deep breath in. Let it out, and as you exhale, soften, settle. Notice the settling. Take another deep breath in as you're ready. On your exhale this time, press your waistline down into the mat. You'll notice that maybe your pubic bone scoops up towards your navel. Press into your feet. So this is a little pelvic tilt. You're lengthening your sacrum away from your waistline, scooping it up. You notice that your abdominals engage a little bit. You can even take your hands to your lower abdomen right by the hip pointers there. And on your next inhale, just release it. And on your exhale, settle in again. Gather in, press your waistline down toward the mat. You'll notice maybe your hips are ready almost to come up off the floor. As you inhale, release it. Exhale, press, scoop. Keep the back of your neck nice and long. And release. And exhale, press and scoop and stay. On your next inhale, if it's comfortable for you, just gently lift the hips off the mat. So your tailbone's scooped under, your thighs are lifting. Maybe your knees will press away from you toward the foot of your mat. The shoulders stay broad, tummy stays in. And then on your next exhale, we'll roll down the spine, release. Place your hips and rest. Notice your rest. Take an inhale here when you're ready. Your exhale will scoop the hips under, lift the hips up. And as you're pressing here, inhale and take your arms up over your head. And as you exhale, lower your arms, lower your hips, and rest. Take a breath in. On your exhale, scoop, press, lift, arms come up over your head. Stay here for an inhale. On your exhale, lower down. Take your hands back down by your side. Notice your rest. Shoulders are soft. Inhale here. Exhale, scoop, press, arms over your head. When you're ready for an inhale, take an inhale here and notice how as you press your feet in, maybe you'll feel your hamstrings engage. Maybe your glutes will wake up. And on your exhale, settle. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, scoop, lift, arms come up over your head. Stay here for a couple of breaths, noticing the strength of your thighs lifting, your feet pressing in, glutes are waking up, thighs are waking up. And on your next exhale, settle down. Let the arms float up and back down by your side. And just notice how your body feels here on your rest. Good. And then we'll take our strap and unroll it wherever you are. If you have a sash, a strap, a necktie, whatever it is, take it around the sole of your right foot and just press the sole of the right foot up. So you're holding on to either side of the strap with your hands, letting the shoulders soften. So this is a time of awareness. You're checking in with the back, the hamstring on the right leg. You're checking in with your ankle. Maybe you'll flex and point a little bit here. Just waking up the feet, waking up your leg. Now noticing your left knee. Your left knee can remain bent here if you like, or you can lengthen out that leg on the mat and gently press it down into the mat with some energy there. Coming back to the right leg, press up with some energy. Soften your hips into the mat. Maybe you could do a little hula here and see how the hips are settling. You want the hips to be as level as you can. And then settle in here for a little bit. And we'll just notice. Hang here, press up through the heel. Separate your toes. Breathe. And often as we settle into the sensations of our body, we can notice how whatever it is we did yesterday has come to rest in our bodies. Like I did some exercises yesterday, I can really feel a little bit more aliveness, more sensation in the back of my leg. It looks like it needs some breath, it needs some space. So I'm just gonna play with it a little bit. Maybe here you can just draw that leg towards you gently. Breathe, let it settle away from you a little bit. You're just checking in, maybe rotating the leg externally, internally from the hip socket. Just begin to explore how your body feels. Maybe flex and point a little bit more. And let's take another breath in as we press the sole of the foot up. As we exhale, mindfully, we'll take the knee in toward the shoulder or on your right shoulder. Sole of the foot is still to the sky, remains pressing up. On your inhale, press it up. Breathe. As you do that, on your exhale, the exhale draws the knee in again. So exploring here, letting your shoulders be soft, letting that left leg either press out or remain bent. If your knee is bent on the left, notice the sole of your foot snuggling into the floor. If the left leg is stretched out on the mat, notice the energy working down from the heart space down into your leg, out through the sole of your foot. So notice, just stay here a little bit, notice first. Allow your inhale to be what presses the sole of the foot up. It grows the leg, expands the knee. And then take both ends of the strap in your right hand. And we'll take our left hand to the hip pointer on the left side to remind that side to stay grounded. Settle in here, notice where you are. Allow your breath to sip in. Allow your exhale to take the leg out to the side. Here it comes, coming at you. We're going to take the left hip down. Just settle in here. Let the heart open, shoulders are relaxed. But press out through the right leg, the right foot. Breathe. Maybe take your gaze over the left shoulder. On your inhale, draw the right leg back up to center. And take the left foot up next to it. So pressing the left foot up next to the right. Take your feet about hip width apart. And then notice the difference. Maybe you'll feel a little change from side to side. Maybe draw the legs toward you a little bit, press them away. We're just becoming aware of where we are in our bodies today. And then we'll release the right foot down. So you can keep the right knee bent with the foot on the mat, or you can lengthen your right leg on the floor. And then we'll settle in and tune into the left leg. Just notice how it's feeling. Take a breath. And maybe flex and point a little bit. Exploring. But all the while, you're present to your own body. So I'm just going to be quiet while we take a moment to flex and point, to explore, to push, to pull, whatever feels good. Notice your breath coming in, what effect it has on your body. And now very nice and easy, on your next inhale, let's press the sole of the foot intentionally to the sky. On your exhale, bend your left knee, draw that knee in towards your shoulder. Lengthening out through the right leg. Notice how this feels. On your inhale, when you're ready, lengthening out through the left leg, pressing up. On your exhale, drawing that knee in again. Follow your breath just a few more times. Inhaling up. Exhaling in when you're ready. And the next time you extend, stay there. Change hands on the strap. The left hand hold on to both ends of the strap. Take your right hand down to the right hip pointer. Maybe you can just rub it around a little bit. Just notice how you're feeling here. Notice how your belly feels. Notice where your hips are. And then just sort of play around with this. Maybe flex and point a little bit more on the foot. And then when you're ready, take a nice slow, full, deep breath in. Allow your exhale to sail the left leg out to the side, following with your thoughts and awareness. Breathe. Maybe take your gaze over the right shoulder. On your inhale, float your leg up through center. And we'll take both feet up once again. Draw soles of the feet up. Notice how you're feeling. Take a breath. Exhale, bend your knees in. We'll take the strap away. Now we'll take our knees to our hands to our kneecaps. On your inhale, begin to separate the knees apart from each other. Row them away from you. Draw them together. Pull them back in. Rowing the legs around, just breathing and noticing. And when you're ready, reversing that motion. Easy breath. And then drawing the knees in towards you. Maybe rock the knees away from you and back towards you. Good. So we'll go from here into a half happy baby. Let's lift up the right foot and take, maybe if you can, take hold of the outside of your right foot with your hand. If not, take hold behind your knee and just draw that shoulder in. The knee into the shoulder. And then we'll place the left foot on the floor. So the right foot is pressing up toward the ceiling with the knee drawn in towards you, maybe under your arm, toward the shoulder. And as you settle here, let's think about, if you can, lengthening out the left leg on the floor. So this is your half happy baby. So notice what's happening here. The shape of this pose is as if you were in a lunge. Maybe resting your chest over your front knee. But you're in a lying down, gentle lunge here. Just notice, maybe you can draw your right knee a little closer into you or under your arm. Take a breath. And as you're here, so the left leg is stretching out. Let's take our left arm over our head. You're really lengthening out through the hip flexor on the left side, reaching out end to end through the sole of your left foot, up through your leg, up through your hip, up through your chest, your arm, your fingertips. Take a breath. And with your exhale, bend the left knee, draw the left knee in towards your chest, release your right foot. And so both knees are together now, and we'll just circle them around. So you're massaging out your sacrum here, and other way. And then back to center, and let's place the sole of the right foot on the floor, knee bend. And we'll take the left foot up. So the left knee draws in towards your shoulder or underarm. The sole of the left foot lifts up to the sky, so you're pulling that knee in towards you. You can support either behind the left knee, or reach up, take hold of the outside, the pinky toe side of your left foot, and draw that knee in. So you're just kind of playing with this, help it, just move it around so it gets into a comfortable place. If you'd like, you can stretch the right leg out. So noticing here the difference between how the other side felt, if you can recall that, and how this side feels. How does your right hip flexor feel, the front of the right hip socket? Feel different than the other side did. So just pressing in, soften your shoulders, soften your face. Breathe, press out through the sole of your right foot. On your inhale, let's take the right arm up over our head. So this time we're going to reach out up away from us with our right arm above our head and the right leg presses below us. So out through the sole of your right foot. Breathe. Lots of awareness of the breath, lots of awareness of the sensations inside of your body, releasing any tension that's not serving you. And then as you're ready, let's draw the right knee in, take it in your right hand, release your left foot. So we have our hands on our knees and we'll circle out again. Breathe and go the other way. And then we'll just do one little twist line here. So looking down at your knees, pick up your toes so they peek over the top of your knees there. And we'll take the arms out side to side in our T shape. Take a breath in center. And with control, we'll exhale the knees to the right as maybe we take the gaze over the left side, just turning your head to the left. On your inhale, come up through center. And exhale other way, taking your gaze to the right this time. So it's gentle, very gentle flowing twist, but you want to make sure as you inhale coming through center, you're gathering in your abdominals, keep them engaged gently as you take your legs over to the right on your exhale. The inhale draws the knees up to center again. And exhaling to the left as your gaze moves to the right. And we'll do one more set. Inhaling through center. Exhaling knees to the right. Gaze turns to the left. And inhaling through center. Exhale to the left. Gaze goes to the right. And then making your way to center, we're going to come through center all the way over to your right side. And as you rest there. So as you're resting here, we'll go back to that theme of just reminding you that our yoga practice is about engaging the breath, the mind, your mind for focus, your body to release tension, to release obstacles, to awareness, just to be, and also to become aware of what are we holding, what are we grasping, what do we need to let go of, what are we resisting? Do we have ego involved here? Are we pushing farther than we need to go so that we can catch up with some idea of how we think we're supposed to be? Are we afraid of anything? What does that fear look like? All those things are obstacles, grasping, resisting, fear, ego. Just a few things to think about, or not. So we're going to press up slowly and make your way onto your tummy. So only come up, no, we're going to come up to all fours. That's right. We're going to come up to all fours and just take ourselves through a few gentle cat-cows here. So come up to all fours luxuriously. Take your hips, maybe rock them side to side. Noticing how you feel in your body as you take this posture and table. We'll notice how the soles of our hands, the palms of our hands feel. Maybe paw the ground a little bit and feel it. Press the fingers in. Maybe kind of shift the hips side to side. Maybe circle around a little bit, just noticing. And then come to table so that on your next inhale, you can lift your chin, lift your tail. Breathing into the belly, and on your exhale, You'll draw the hips under again, our little pelvic tilt, but we're on our hands and knees. And inhale, lengthen, take a little lift of the heart, press the mat away from you, and exhale, round. So just take it at your own pace a few times. We're just going to lengthen and inhale, and round on your exhale, noticing where you feel this in your body. If your elbows, if your wrists feel a little cranky today, you can come down to your elbows, forearms, and just take a gentle cat-cow. And then I'm going to have you on your next exhale come back to table, and we'll all lower to our elbows here. So forearms are on the mat, and we're just going to shift back and forth a little bit, press into your forearms. Notice how your shoulders feel, only go as far as you're comfortable. And from here, we're going to slither down to the ground just like a little snake. So come on down. Yep, I was out walking yesterday and met with a sweet little black snake, which at first I thought was a stick because I didn't have my glasses on. But then I put my glasses on when I saw how interesting the stick was, and I saw the stick had a little face, which was very cute. But I walked by him and he just said, "How do you do?" And then he slipped away and I slipped away. So with that image in mind, let's come to baby cobra. So just think about the ease of the cobra, the ease of movement, but the strength of the muscles. And we'll take our hands underneath the shoulders and lengthening your sacrum down towards your feet. You just want to gather the abdominals in a little bit to support your back, so you're not sinking in your lower back. You have the support of the abdominal muscles underneath to keep it stable. It'll lengthen out energy through your legs, through the soles of your feet, through your toes. And the hands are underneath your shoulders. Let's take our gaze down toward the mat so the back of your head is in line with your spine. You want to keep the shoulder blades working toward each other. So you feel there's this wonderful little ease of this posture, but there's also that inner core of support. There's that, the support of the muscles. So on your inhale, we're just going to lift the upper back a little bit. So we're just, without pressing into the hands, you just lift. And then exhale the forehead to the mat. On your inhale, you'll lengthen your spine and then float your head up away from the floor. Exhale, lower. All the while, the abdominals are holding in, so you have that core of strength that gives you stability. And then exhale. So as you take a few more inhale and exhales, I'm going to ask you to be really aware of your breath and that balance of stability and ease that you might feel as you raise and lower. So let's just take it a couple more times. Inhaling up, exhale, lower. Inhale, lengthen your spine and lift. Exhale, lower. And then we'll slowly press up. Come to all fours. Find your table. Wag your tail a little bit, side to side. Breathe. Notice the luxurious breath that you have here to move through your body. And then sit back gently into child's pose. So maybe take your toes together, separate your knees, press way back. And if your head doesn't want to meet the mat, maybe you have a block or a pillow you can rest on. We're just going to be here for a second. So reaching out. And once again, this is a place to explore. You don't have to plop yourself into a holding pattern, a static pose. There's always room for exploration and breath, presence. And if you'd like, take your hands, stack one on top of the other, and just rest your forehead there. Let your shoulders drop back away from your ears. Take a couple of breaths, easy breaths in child's pose. And so then reaching the hands out ahead of you, we're just going to lift up again and slither our way back down to the mat. This time we'll take our elbows underneath the shoulders. Spread your paws out in front of you. This is Sphinx Pose. So if you can take your thoughts back to ancient Egypt and come into the same pose, because you have a sweet little lion face here. Don't you love the face on the Sphinx? Come around. Press your forearms into the mat. Tuck your tail a little bit. You're going to gather it, which means really that you're gathering your abdominal muscles in. You're lifting up, pressing your forearms down. Engage your abdominals. Send your legs out below you with strength. And so we're just going to hold here for a couple of breaths. Easy breath in. Notice how the breath feels as it moves in through your nose, down through your throat, down into your body, down through your hips, down through the soles of your feet. Strengthen your thighs. Let your chin drop a little bit so you're not scrunching the back of your neck. You want to be nice and long in the back of your neck. And then on our inhale here, we'll just lower a little bit, take your hands under your shoulders, press up, and then slowly and mindfully press yourself back to a child's pose. Make your way back in whatever way feels good. Pressing back. So just enough time to really round and stretch the back. Breathe into your rib cage here, the back ribs. So often we balloon out in the front of our body, but we need to notice the back body too, how the lungs expand and inflate toward the rib cage behind you. And then keeping your hips tucked under, round up through cat tilt. Come all the way to all fours, and let's take the right leg ahead into a lunge. Now, if you need a blanket under your knees, please take that. You can just take a moment to grab a towel or blanket or cushion, whatever you need under your knees here for comfort. And we'll take the right leg ahead into a little lunge and just pressing forward. Maybe shift it out a little bit, make your way so that you're comfortable. I'll come forward so I can talk to you this way. So we'll shift ahead. Noticing that your hips are level here, press through. Take your hands down. So if you need blocks or folded blankets or something here for support, come through, but you can keep your fingers like Spider-Man fingers here, press through. Lift the heart. So take a moment to acknowledge where you are and how you feel. You want a nice long spine. On your inhale, we'll press up away from the floor, bring the front toes up. I have my foot flexed here. Pressing back. The hips are level. And on your inhale, shifting forward. And pressing back. As you press back, level out the hips, draw the toes up. Inhale forward. And then pressing back, lift your toes up. And then we'll come to a kneeling, so a half kneel. So you're just going to take one knee in front. So if you can come up to here, you might need your chair for a little support here. Make sure your hips are level. And we'll just take a little stretch here. Reaching up. On your exhale, take your hand down maybe to your hip and we'll reach up and over. So you'll find as you do this, you might feel some real lengthening up through the side body, up through the hip flexor there. But your hips stay level. You're not hiking them up one way or the other. Really reaching. You can really feel it through the side body there. I can. See where you feel it. And breathe. And then we'll come up, take the hands down, shift this foot back, and we'll take other side. So let's take the other foot ahead, coming up. So you maybe want to start here so that your hips are nice and level. And then just pressing through, make your way forward into your lunge, okay? So kind of play with that a little bit. You'll notice that there's a lot of opening here in the front of this hip flexor. Again, tummy's engaged, hips are pressing through, Take your hands down if that's comfortable. And take some breaths here. So again, back of your neck is long, the heart is lengthened away from the belly button. It's a little journey there. So notice where your back knee is. And as you breathe in, allow your awareness to come up through your thigh, up through your hip flexor, through your belly, through the heart, through your neck, crown of your head. Good. So on your next inhale, begin to float up and away. So inhale here, exhale back, toes are up, front toes are up, hips are level. Inhale forward, exhale through. So find your pattern of breath that feels good for you to work through, becoming aware of where you are. So it's the breath that brings the openness here. You're thinking about the breath, bringing a sense of ease. On your next sit backwards, we're just going to stay there a little bit. Take the toes up. Drop in. This is what we're meaning by the union of heart, soul, mind, and strength. So the breath comes in. You notice where you are. Notice how your body's feeling. This is your strength part. Your heart can rest here because you're just being present to yourself. Thinking about opening your body. Maybe taking thoughts back to that greatest commandment and how God lives within, and that place of stillness here. This is where it all comes from. And then we'll draw the front foot in a little bit. Climb over your blanket here. Come on up. So this is a half lunge here, and we'll take arm up. And if you want to stay here, that's fine. And then just reach up and exhale, a little stretch here. So my hips are kind of pressing through here, lifting up. So lift in the belly, lift in the heart, open through the shoulders and lift. Breathe. Notice where you are, just breathing in. If you want to take that top hand down to the hip, certainly, that's fine. And then gently make your way down. Come to all fours and press back to child's pose again. So just easy child's pose. And then coming up to kneeling once again, we're going to take a gentle camel. So think about camels, you know. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? So anyway, I'm going to come around to the side and show you that there's just a gentle lift through, as always, through the belly, through the heart. Knees are in line with your hips. So take a look down there. You can even reach down, hold on to your knees. Just run your hands up and come straight to the hip pointers. Up through center, up through the belly, out through the shoulders, side to side, lift. Take your hands behind you, just roll the shoulders up and back. Take the hands or fists back by your sacrum here. And lift the tummy and just take a gentle gaze up. You don't have to drop your head all the way back, not safe. And arc up and over. So it doesn't have to be far. Just come to your level of comfort. And so just come to the point where you can breathe easily. That's really important. Easy breath, open heart. Maybe a gentle challenge. If you need to come out, please come out. And then on your next inhale, we're going to sail yourself up to center first. Tuck the tail under. Let your hands just run down your legs as you come down. And take yourself down into an easy child's pose, letting the hands rest by your heels. And rest. gathering in. This is a wonderful place to gather in. It's nice and quiet. Notice the in and out of your breath. You don't have to think about anything. You don't have to go anywhere. Just rest here for just a couple of breaths, noticing, feeling. And then very easily coming up to all fours, and let's take toes underneath, press back to down dog, and we'll walk ourselves through an easy down dog today. Just tread out one heel, other heel. Maybe come up on your toes, press forward into an easy plank, just play. See what feels good for you this morning. Breathe. All the while, that easy breath is just come to an awareness of when you need to take a nice deep breath in and send it to any place in your body that needs it. And as you're ready, we'll walk our feet toward our hands. Press back, walk your hands back towards your feet. And let the weight of your body rest in the center of your feet. We'll take our hands, just run them up the backs of your legs, come on up. Maybe massage your thighs on the way up, maybe around the knees. A nice little massage there for the body. Whew. Oh man, don't get me started. Here we go. Just pay attention. Just notice how good this feels. I hope it does anyway. So it's like giving your legs some reward for doing everything they've been doing. Getting that circulation settled. Let's see here. Where are we? Okay. Hello, folks. So come to center and just ease out the shoulders. Notice how your body feels here and what you might need to get yourself settled. Maybe you need a little twirl. The arms fly. Easy breath. And then we'll make our way gently back to center. Good. So standing, let's come to mountain with your feet about hip width apart. Just find a gentle awareness of your feet settling in, maybe just shifting forward and back a little bit. Maybe side to side, pressing. Easy. And then allow the muscles of your legs to hug in. Just hugging up the right leg, hugging up through the left leg, tummy comes in, heart lifts, shoulders are broad. This is a nice way to bring yourself to an awareness of standing tall, to just take the hands in, reach up, come out to the side, shoulders drop out. Do that a couple of times, reaching up, pressing out. This time, come on up all the way. Take your hands up and dive forward. Forward fold, nice and easy. On your next inhale, notice how your spine lengthens. You can come up halfway, draw the belly in, stretch out long. Exhale, forward fold. And then inhale, lift and reach. Arms come up, palms touch, and down through center to the heart. And breathe here. After you've had a breath or so, just let your hands rest beside you and notice how your body feels. Send your breath in, nice and easy and sweet. Feel, be here, just be present to yourself. And very gently, we'll just lift up the left arm, take it up. Lift up the right arm, take it up. We're just doing some little side reaches here. With the chest remaining forward, the plane of your chest straight ahead. You don't want to twist, you just want to reach side to side. Good. So maybe as you're doing this, you want to remain centered. You want to be centered in your belly. And next time your right arm comes up, just let it stay there. Take an inhale when you're ready. Allow the inhale to swoop the other arm up to meet it. Shoulders are soft. And we're just going to take steeple mudra here and take some crescent moon breaths. So we'll take arms up. My fingers are interlaced with my fingers pointing up. Shoulders are easy. We'll take a breath in center, and on your exhale, go to your right. On your inhale, float up through center. On your exhale, go to your left. So you're pressing out through the opposite side. Inhale up. Core is stable, nice. So this is again where we feel that stability that is balanced by the ease of your motion. So that is the essence of a yoga posture, is to be stable and steady, but easy also. So play with that as you make your way side to side. Your breath brings you up. Your exhale takes you over. In breath, out breath. When you're ready, in breath, out breath. Can you take a couple more and just really feel and notice the breath guiding you? On your next inhale, just come back to center. We'll come up nice and straight in the legs. Once again, you're not necessarily tucking, but you're drawing the belly in so that you can lift up and back. We're going to take a little back bend here. So inhale, reach up. Exhale, just take a little back bend. Open the heart, soften the shoulders, gaze up. Good. On your inhale, come back to center. And exhale, easy arms down. Following your breath here, allow your inhale to be matched with your motion. So let's start here. Take hands to heart. Really going to focus here on floating your breath, on floating the motion on your breath. So hands to center. When you're ready, breath in. Breath out. We're going to do this 2 more times. I'm going to invite you to really notice what this does to your state of mind, your awareness of your body, your awareness of space, being encapsulated in this breath and this motion. So let's come to center. On your inhale, when you're ready, take it up. Notice the silence at the bottom of your exhale. Notice your feet settling in, your body resting but strong. Thoughts resting, heart resting, quiet. Allow your breath just to move in and out. Watch the breath moving in, moving out. And as you're ready, settle your arms down by your side. Excellent. So let's take your chair now. We're going to work into what's called King Dancer. So we want to begin by stretching out the quadricep. So if it's not so easy for you to reach around and get your ankle, I'm going to invite you to take your strap. This is a very long strap. I hope I don't. Anyway, I'm going to double it here. So we'll take your strap, take it in your hand, see if I can do this without getting all tangled up. And we'll take the strap around the front of your ankle, or maybe the shin. So you have it supported here. Let me turn sideways. So you take it around the ankle or shin, draw it up, and maybe get hold of it to where you're comfortable. This is why it's good to have your chair there so you can hold on. So notice my knee that's toward the screen is way up here. We want to take that knee back in line with the other leg, draw the back leg in, lift in our tummy, strong in the standing leg, lift through the heart. And so just practice lengthening out through this quadricep, and if you like, you can lift the opposite arm. So this might be just where you want to go today. You might want to just play with balancing here. If you'd like, you can lift up, take the leg back behind you a little bit, press into the strap, find your gazing point ahead, and then begin to gently give yourself a little tip, reaching up and out. So find your place of comfort there, your place of awareness, and where you might want to balance. And if you want to try it without the chair, you can try that too by coming to standing, your foot in your hand. You press your foot into your hand and away from you. The leg comes back, arm reaches up, and then you're going to reach up and out and take a little balance there. So play with that. The shoulder on the side that's holding the hip opens, reaching out. So play with that for a moment, with the chair, without the chair. Take some breaths. King dancer. Oh. So let's see. Lifting up. Ooh. This is my wonky side. Sometimes we have a wonky side. Trying not to hold on to that thought. Reaching up and out. Good. And then release. Go ahead, just let it go. And then we'll go around to the other side. I'm going to take the chair this way. So taking your strap, if you like, around your ankle on this side or not. Remember that it goes around, you just hold it down. Put your foot through it behind you there. So you want it so you're just kind of holding up your ankle or your foot there. And then realign your spine. So your gazing point is very important here. So you want to gaze out, beyond. Find that comfort place in your strap where you can hold on. Oh. There we go. And then, so the front knee needs to align with the standing leg. Lift up in the heart. So first you're going to just stretch out your quadricep there. And then, if you'd like, you're strong in that standing leg, you can lift up the same arm as the standing leg. And as you're ready, take that leg back behind you. You're kind of pressing the strap into your ankle, the ankle into the strap, reaching up and out. Back shoulder opens. Breathe. And if you just want to play with standing with the quadricep lengthen and the arm up, you can certainly do that too. So take your time, play with that. And then we'll gently lower the back foot down. Come to standing, hands at the heart. Interesting. And you can take your chair away. And we'll take an inhale up. Take a big inhale up. Take an exhale, dive forward. Take an inhale halfway. And exhale, bend your knees a whole lot. And we'll come to sitting. So we'll just come to sitting with, we'll call it easy pose, legs crossed, maybe perching on your blanket. So make your way to a comfortable seat. And if you're used to having one leg, a certain leg in front habitually, let's try changing sides. And sitting nice and tall, letting the hips just settle into the blanket. Hands to your knees. So we're gathering back in after messing around, playing with that King Dancer pose. Once again, allowing yourself to come home to your heart, the length of your spine. We're creating space here for so many things. We're settling in, we're becoming grounded through the hips. This is grounding ourselves in God's presence, the ground of our being. We're just resting. And out of that space, we want to open space within our body so that we can get a better breath, which gives us more focus, more energy. Our organs can function better. You can imagine it now as you're lifting up that your intestines have more room, your bladder has more room, your heart has more space, your lungs. As you rest your hands down, you're coming home to yourself as you rest your hands on your knees with a broad heart. And then closing your eyes if that's comfortable. If it isn't, just cast your gaze down. Come home to your breath. Allow the breath to sip in slow and full and deep. And then as you exhale, keep your spine tall. Let the breath sail out through your nose. And as you're watching your breath move in, move out, if you constrict the back of your throat just a little bit, the sound of that breath becomes more of a focus. It's kind of helpful to really gather into the sound of your breath moving into your body and moving out. So just constrict the back of your throat. It's called Ujjayi breath. It's almost like Darth Vader a little bit, but I like to keep it kind of quiet. It doesn't have to be a loud sound. It's just sweet, gentle, almost like the ocean sound in the back of your throat. So just try that for a moment. Watch your breath moving in, moving out. Can there now be a sense of wholeness, a sense of the unification of your body, your focus of your mind, your breath, and moving into that heart space. Wherever you imagine your heart to be. In yoga we say that there is a place within us that never changes. It is that still pool of water. It is that subterranean, slow-moving river that is just present and settled. It's not affected by the activity on the outside, whatever craziness is going on. It's always there, just present and quiet. The place where we say, God rests with arms open, waiting for you to just back in, settle down, rest. And this is what all this movement is for, this breathing, this focus. So as we carry on with an awareness of that, let's take the right leg out in front and we'll take the left foot into the inside of the thigh or maybe down into the calf, and we'll just sit up tall first. Let the breath sip in and nourish the body, and then exhale, take a little forward fold. Allowing yourself to rest here in whatever way seems comfortable. But going back to that soft, easy breath of awareness. Allow yourself to be very present to this place, intentional, noticing your body, noticing your breath. Can you allow it to be delicious? What would that look like? How does it feel? And on your inhale, let's float up and we'll change sides. Very intentionally Notice the sole of your foot snuggling into the leg, wherever it is, whether it's calf or thigh, and sit up tall once again, creating the space as you hinge forward. Take your time, maybe run your hands down on your legs so you can really feel yourself coming home. Hands come wherever you're comfortable, either beside your leg, maybe grasping your foot, whatever feels good for you here. Maybe giving your foot some squeezes while you're down there, massaging the ankle, maybe rubbing your leg. But coming home to yourself and just breathing softly here with awareness. And then we'll lift on up, just float up, take soles of the feet together. Sitting up as tall as you're comfortable here. Let's take the hands behind us and lift the heart. So your legs can just drop open, shoulders press down and back. Heart lifts, take a little gaze up. Breathe. And then on your exhale, shifting forward, taking your hands either to your knees, your shins, your feet, and just allow yourself to settle on over in any way that feels good for you today. We'll just settle on over. Aware of your breath again. Easy breath. Notice what's going on in the inner thighs. You can adjust your feet a little farther away if that's more comfortable. If you feel really open and loose here, you can draw the feet in towards you a little bit more if you'd like a little bit more sensation there. So as you're here and you're noticing what's happening in your body, notice where you feel this. And if you need to change anything, if you need to back off a little, but settling into an awareness. Coming back to the breath when you need to, just notice your breath. And then press yourself back up to sitting. Take the legs up. Stretch them out ahead. Point your toes up. Flex your ankles. Spread the toes out wide. Maybe reaching forward. Take a little massage of your legs. Nice and easy, sweeping here. Come on up. And then we're going to roll onto our back. So come on back. And as you roll back, you can hold on to your thighs if you need to, or you could just reach out ahead. Roll on back, draw the knees with you as you come to rest. Rocking out your legs very intentionally. Notice your back body begins to pour into the mat. And then resting your feet down. So your knees are bent here. You're just going to rock your knees side to side a little bit. And then come to center and separate your feet a little bit wider on your mat. Maybe walk the feet away from you also. Take your arms out side to side in that T shape. And then just let your knees drop over to the right. Tuck your hips under and press through so that you might feel this a little more opening in the left hip flexor. Breathe. Let your shoulder blades, allow them to just pour down into the mat. Settle the shoulders down, nice and easy. And then draw your knees through center. And with your next exhale, we'll drop the knees to the left. Scoop the hips under a little bit. Press through that right hip flexor here. Maybe draw the right shoulder blade underneath you gently. Breathe, settle. And then slowly draw your knees to center. Realign your spine on the mat. And we'll stretch out end to end. A big stretch here, reaching out. And as you're ready, making your way into Shavasana for today. Maybe taking a pillow under your knees, a little blanket or a towel under your head. whatever feels good for you to be in your resting pose. And coming to an awareness now of your body fully resting. Finding ease in your breath, settling into a slow, natural breath, whatever feels right for you in this space. Allowing the neck to be easy, maybe rock your head side to side a little bit, coming back to center. Softening your face. If you like, you can take your hands up and just massage your scalp a little bit here to relieve any tension there around the ears. You can rub your ears out a little bit, really feeling the hands on your ears. Breathe. And then let your hands settle. Allow your belly to soften, shoulders to rest. Allow your arms to come to a place where they're at ease, either maybe palms up, palms down, whatever feels right. Allow your hips to settle in as your legs soften. So maybe the legs will just drop out side to side. Breathe easy. Let your toes relax and your feet. And turning your awareness to your inner landscape here, going back to that place in the heart. Place that's quiet and still. Scripture tells us, in quietness and trust is our strength. So where is that place within where God waits? A place where we kind of back into and sit ourselves into the heart of Jesus to find rest and sweetness. As you rest there, I'll share with you a reading that's dedicated to the Sacred Heart of Jesus, which is that place where we rest now. The fragrance of your ointments, O Lord, are more fragrant than all the aromas of the earth. Your fragrance draws me after you with delightful force. It draws me to you, and it draws me into you. Here on the altar of your heart is the safest haven, which no violent winds can disturb. There I find a repose which cannot be endangered by the menace of storms or floods. There I discover exquisite delights, which neither grow distasteful nor are liable to diminish. There lies a profound peace, which can never be troubled by any discord. There is a joy which no sadness can ever alter, happiness supreme, sweetness unspeakable, serenity perfectly serene, and blessedness most heavenly. In your heart is found the very beginning of every good thing, the ultimate origin of all sweetness and holy joy. Thence, that is from your heart, my sweetest God, proceeds all happiness, all sweetness, all serenity, all security, all quiet, all pleasure, all peace, all joy, all delight, all gladness, all beatitude, in a word, all good gifts. So I invite you now for the last few moments to rest in that quiet place of sweetness that's never disturbed by anything, always there, always waiting for you to rest. So gently now be coming back to this place, to an awareness of your easy breath, the softness of your body, and maybe the peacefulness of your heart. Allowing the breath to move in a little more deeply, maybe bringing motion to fingers, toes, wrists, ankles. And maybe a deeper breath, encouraging a big stretch in any way that feels right to you in this place. And guiding knees to chest, rocking out your back a little bit, side to side for a little massage. And then making your way over to one side. And as you rest there, it's again coming home to a sense of heart and soul and mind and strength. All the layers of your being in this one beautiful package as you rest here. And then coming up to sitting slowly. And as we come to a comfortable seat, I'll share with you a body prayer as we invite God in and come to an awareness of loving God with all of our heart, as the great commandment, the most important commandment tells us, is offering heart and soul as we take palms together, and mind as we draw our thumbs to our forehead, and strength as we just interlace fingers here. And loving neighbor as we reach out to each other as ourselves, as we draw that love back to us. So resting here, I'll close with our prayer. Lord God, we thank you for reaching out to us with your heart, with your soul, with your mind, with your strength. Fill us with your life-giving breath so that we can leave this place to become all those things that you created us to be in the world. That we can love you with all of our heart, with all of our soul, with all of our mind, and with all of our strength, as with your help we love our neighbors as ourselves. Thank you all for practicing with me today. Shalom. So thank you all. What an interesting thought, the union of heart, soul, mind, and strength as we walk through this world. So notice, as you walk through this week, this time, how that works for you. I'd love to hear from you about that. I love you. Take care of yourselves.